Right, folks, we've got 3 horse racing ones today, and I thought to bang them out all one after the other. This should be out all being well about 8 o'clock tonight. And it's just a couple of thoughts of the over the weekend's racing. One race over the weekend, and one bit of news that I only happened to read today. Most of you will have read yesterday, but just my thoughts on it. Looking at the Derby and the Oaks winners from this year. Is it Ezeliya, the horse trained by Weld, and the O'Brien horse, City of Troy, that won the Eclipse yesterday. And I thought to myself, how different the ownership models are. I mean, we know they're going to be different, but they've got a totally different outlook on things. I thought, well, you've got Coolmore there. All right, they've been really, really, really successful and won millions and billions and trillions of pounds. They've got a fantastic breeding operation, and I would imagine they've built their empire on the breeding, the offspring of the horses that they've had and bought in. Brilliant stud operation. City of Troy yesterday wins really ugly, and I mean really ugly. Ryan Moore comes in and tells you why it's won ugly, and that tells you the mistakes he's made. And then when they're interviewing the big cheese there on the TV and later on racing TV, he's saying, look, what we worried about, I mean, a third of the field pulled out because of the conditions. The conditions weren't great. The horse wants better ground. We're seeing a much, much better horse in the mornings and a much better horse. I've read since they've released a video this week of a piece of work it did this week because they wanted everyone to see it because they're over the moon with the horse. But the thing is, their attitude is onwards and upwards. Number one, he did say 10, 12 years ago, we may not have run the horse, we didn't like the conditions at Sandown and we might have ducked it. But we're more sporty now as we've got on and we want to win prizes, so we'll let it run. Plus we knew there was a big crowd there and I thought, well done. And then I'll park that in a minute. I'm going to come back to City if you don't mind. And then we look at Ezeliya. I think I pronounced it rightly. I read today, I think the news came out yesterday, it's going to be retired. And I was gutted. I thought that won a poor Oaks, but I thought it won it very, very, very well. And I thought there's a lot more in the locker of this horse. This horse could be a world beater. I honestly and genuinely was looking forward to the Arc. And I thought, this and City of Troy in the Arc against the Elders could be really, really good. And I wouldn't have been 100% certain if City of Troy had gone to the Arc that it would beat Ezeliya. I think Ezeliya's some horse. And in years gone by, like your Dahlias and Yellow Francis, they've done really, really well in the Arc. Some of them are older than 3. And I read today he's been retired. I believe he's had a little setback, a bit more than a little setback, but a setback nonetheless. And what I'm reading is that the spokesman for the Aga Khan, or for the ownership model, has said, look, we may have struggled to get it back for an autumn campaign, and it's a very valuable horse. It'll be great in the breeding sheds, and that's where it's going to. And I thought, how disappointing. When many people have got a lot to say about racing and lots of it negative, I thought, why would you have one of your potential superstars being retired at 3.5 after winning a classic, only running, 4 times winning 3, a horse on the up, and we're not given it a chance to come back in the autumn? I mean, I'd have been disappointed had it ran in the Arc and done well and not come back at 4. I just don't get it. I mean, surely when you've got that many millions, you can treat the racing public to that 3rd and 4th year and then retire a horse. I know they can get injured, I know they can, but it's a very, very, very small percentage that do. And I was just disappointed, and I thought, well, Coolmore, they're doing it right. The Aga Khan, I'm not so sure that they are. Back to City of Troy, where else did I want to say? There was something I wanted to say, and I said I'm coming back to it, but because I'm like I am and because I've got no script, I can't exactly remember. No, I can't remember, so I'm probably going to part that. You see, I'm crap. I do need to have a script. Yeah, I believe it might go for the Breeders' Cup. That wasn't what it was, and it'd be great to see it there. It'd be great to see him go and beat the Yanks in their own backyard. Yeah, that's what I was going to say. I know what I'm going to say now. They're saying it wasn't at its best on the ground and whatever else, and it reminded me ever so slightly of Frankel in his last race against the great French mare. But I thought to myself, the difference being there, I mean, when Frankel ran its last race on Champions Day, I mean, it was going up in distance, I did it once before, I think it was his second time at 1 mile 2, but the conditions weren't soft, they were bottomless, they were really, really, really soft. It also broke really, really badly, and it got up and won on guts, but it still won by, was it a length and a half, 2 lengths? And I would suggest, and this is only me, I mean, I've got a massive soft spot for Frankel, so I'm biased anyway, but I thought that performance that day by Frankel was much superior to the City of Troy one, in that we know City of Troy would have no problem with 1 mile 2. Frankel you wasn't as certain as, but with the conditions being what they were, it made it a 1 mile 3, 1 mile 4 race. I don't think there was anything anywhere near the class of citizen Ezeliya, I think I've said it correctly, in the field yesterday against City of Troy. And also, if memory serves, Frankel broke really, really badly from the stalls. It was playing catch up all the way through. You know, apart from the one time that, I don't know if you remember it, that your man gave it a really, really bad ride. Was it at York or Ascot? Was it at 3? I think it was. When everybody was sweating, they didn't think he'd get up on time. He gave the leader much too much of a start, old Mr. Quealy, and they managed just to scramble home and get there. I mean, Frankel looked imperious every single time it ran. It looked like there wasn't a horse in the world that had lay a glove on it. And at this moment in time, for all we see in that, or so we're told on the gallops from City of Troy, we've not really yet seen on the racecourse. It was great in the Derby, and it was great a couple of times at 2. Really, really great. But we're yet to see it transfer what we've seen on the gallops onto a racecourse as a 3-year-old. I, for one, want to. I want these superstars. You know, that's what I want. We all do. But I would suggest, for all that they say it's by far and away the best they've ever had, I would suggest it's got a long way to go to get anywhere near Frankel. But we'll watch it. We'll watch it intently, and we'll hope it can get to them heights. Because if it can, we've got something to look forward to. But bitterly disappointed about the Irish Khan horse. Really, really disappointed. I would have hoped they'd have been sporting enough to try and get it back for the autumn campaign, or put it away for the summer, autumn months and bring it back next year. Just really disappointing. I just think we've seen an horse that was really on the up there and had loads more to give, and we'll never know how good the horse could be now. You know, it's gone. It's sad. I read it this morning. I was gutted. I really was. I was looking forward to it coming back, that horse. Really was. Anyway, that's it from me for the racing for today.